Hi everyone. To create our diversity art project today, we're going to need 2 pieces of white paper, scissors, oil pastels, and a black marker or a pencil. We're going to start with 1 white piece of paper and our black marker or pencil, and we're actually going to trace our hand. So go ahead and place your hand down on your white paper in the middle. And actually, I'm gonna switch to a pencil because you know what? I don't wanna get Sharpie on my hand. Silly Miss Buettner. I'm gonna grab my pencil for this part. I'll use my black marker later. Place your hand in the middle of your paper and start near your wrist. We wanna have a little bit of our arm in there. And make sure your pencil is going straight up and down. We don't want it to curve under our fingers because that's how our fingers will look a little bit weirdly shaped. Make sure your pencil sticks straight up and down. Press up against the side of your fingers in your hand, all the way around, and then down your wrist. That looks great. If you want to continue your arm all the way down your paper, you can do that. All right, let's now grab our oil pastels and your pencil or your black marker. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break up the hand into different spaces. So just take your drawing material and just make some lines to start. So what we're doing here is we're just making different areas that we can color in. So I'm just breaking this up kind of randomly with different lines. I'm kind of creating shapes when I connect these lines. They look like triangles or squares, different geometric shapes. And I'm gonna do this all the way down my wrist, so I have many spaces to color. Okay, that looks pretty good. We don't want too many teeny spaces because we're gonna actually color them with oil pastels and mixed colors. So we wanna be able to see the spaces pretty well. I'm gonna actually outline this with my black marker because I want you guys to be able to see my hand a little bit better. You don't have to do this step because we're gonna cut these out eventually anyway. All right, now using our oil pastels, we're gonna try and make some neutral colors. That means different colors of different skin tones of different people. So I'm gonna actually start with my peachy color with my oil pastel. And mine's a little dirty. I'm gonna clean it off on my scrap paper here. Or you can use the back of this paper to clean it off. And I'm gonna just fill in 1 shape with peach. And I could just leave it peach, that's a skin color, right? But I actually wanna start to make new different types of skin colors. So I'm gonna take my brown and I'm actually gonna color on top of the peach. And the really neat thing about oil pastels is they're kind of like paint. They mix really well if you layer them and you keep layering the colors. So I'm gonna use my brown and then go back in with my peach. And I'm pressing pretty hard. You gotta press kind of hard with your oil pastels to get them to mix. And there we go. So I've made a kind of a darker skin color there, a darker peachy color. Let's see, what else can I do? I can use my brown. I'm gonna color in this area brown. And then after I color in brown, I'm actually gonna mix a little bit of black to make this an even darker skin color. Now black is a really overpowering color, so we don't need too much. I'm just gonna press lightly with the black to get a little bit of black color in there, and then I'm gonna go back in with my brown and go back on top. And that will mix these 2 colors really well together. There we go, so brown and black makes just a darker brown skin color. That looks great. If you're getting a lot of these little oil pastel flakes, just tap your paper instead of brushing them, because then we don't want to make any smudges on our paper. All right, what else can I do? Oh, I can mix, I know, I can mix peach and white to make an even lighter peach skin color. My white's a little dirty, I'm gonna clean it off. Put some white down on top. Ooh, see how that peach is getting lighter? I can put a little bit more peach on top to mix it, and then I'm gonna go back in with my white. So the key is to layer oil pastels. The more you layer them, the more they will mix. looks great, a nice light peach color. What else can we do? We can also mix red, yellow, and blue in different ways to create a neutral color as well. Did you know that if you mix red, yellow, and blue, it creates kind of like a brownish color? Well, let's see if we can get that. It's a little tricky, but let's try it out. I'm gonna start with red. I'm gonna place a little bit of blue down. Blue is a very dark color, so we don't need too much. And then I'll take my yellow. I'm gonna go in with my yellow. I'm gonna go back in with my red, and I'm gonna keep mixing these colors until I feel like I've got that brownish color that I'm trying to get. It's starting to create a nice brownish color, if you can see that. Yeah, that's creating a neutral, I can see it. That looks nice. All right, what else can I do? I think I can also mix peach and red. I can create a skin color that's a little bit more pinkish. I have some pink tones in my skin color. And I'll go back in with my peach and I'll blend that a little bit more. Oh, I like that. Nice. So I'm gonna keep going until I filled all these spaces in different ways. I can be mixing my neutrals with my red, yellow, and blue in different ways to get different tones and shades of skin colors. Remember, if you use black, that'll make a darker skin color. If you mix white into your color, it'll make a lighter skin color. You can also experiment with mixing reds and yellows and blues into your neutrals to create different tones of skin colors. All right, let's pretend I've colored my whole hand with different skin colors. Now I'm gonna use my scissors to cut it out. Go back into these little pieces. I like to do those last because they're kind of tricky to get inside of. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm gonna grab my second piece of paper here, and I'm gonna glue this down, but before I do, I'm actually gonna create a background here. So using your oil pastels, let's create a background that shows diversity. I'm gonna start by drawing a big heart, actually with my black marker. You can use your black marker or your pencil. And I'm gonna put a big heart in the middle. And I think the reason why I'm putting a heart in here is because diversity really has to do with loving everyone's differences. Everyone has differences in the world, and loving and accepting others' differences is important. So I'm just gonna use my oil pastels to color this red. You can choose any colors that you want to color your heart. You can choose rainbow colors. You can do a color pattern. Getting a lot of little oil pastel flakes. I'm going to tap my paper on my table when I'm done so I don't smudge. All right, that looks great. Now, I think in the rest of the background, I'm going to add some more. I think I'm going to add some words. And you can add whatever words you want that you think of when you think of diversity. I'm gonna write the words love each other. So I'm gonna start here and I'm gonna write the word love. And then I'm gonna write each other. looks great. Now, I can color my background in any way that I like. I can add some fun colors to my letters. I can color the background around the heart. Be creative with how you add color to your background. The last step, boys and girls, is to glue your hand. Now, we don't want to cover up the letters too much, so if you want to trim part of your hand a little bit, I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to place my hand right here in the middle. I can put it like that, or centered like that, and I'll just use my glue to go ahead and glue this down. And that's it. Once you've finished all of your colors inside of your hand and in your background, you're done with your diversity art. This looks like a really neat poster that you could hang on the wall too. I love it. All right, friends, I cannot wait to see your art.